Now, you could be forgiven for thinking an election is coming. David Cameron today promised to guarantee rises in the basic state pension if the Conservatives win the 2015 general election. The Prime Minister also held out the prospect of a cut in the top rate of tax. And the Labour leader Ed Miliband declared that he will aim to close a legal loophole that's been used to exploit cheap foreign workers if his party wins in 2015, as Harry Smith reports.
David Cameron insisted that his guarantee on pensions is not just a move to win back older supporters, but it is a convenient fact that pensioners are more likely to vote than other age groups. 68% of them will put their crosses on ballot papers at the next election. The Prime Minister said he was continuing a policy of increasing pensions by the rate of inflation, pay rises or 2.5%, whichever is higher, the so-called triple lock.
It's been really important in this Parliament because earnings haven't been going up very quickly because we've been recovering from this appalling recession that we had under Labour. So what we're saying, because we've taken these difficult decisions, because we're asking people to retire later, moving the pension age first to 66 and then upwards, we're able to make this long-term decision, which is that we'll keep the triple lock in place at least for the next Parliament. So people know, hopefully wages will be growing, and that is the forecast that they will be, but if they didn't, then your pension will be protected.
A new poll by former Tory party Vice Chairman Lord Ashcroft shows why the Conservatives need to win back support. It says more than 1 in 3 of those who voted Tory in 2010 don't plan to do so next time. About half of those plan instead to vote for UKIP. But one consolation for David Cameron, more than half of the defectors still think he is the best of the 3 party leaders. The latest poll should set alarm bells ringing in constituencies like this, Hendon in North London. It's the Conservatives' 8th most marginal in the country. It was won by just 106 votes at the last election. Even a small-scale defection to UKIP could make this a comfortable win for Labour. The rise of UKIP reflects growing concern about immigration, but the party leader insisted today that was not the only issue on which they were winning the arguments, nor were they just gaining ground at the expense of the Tories.
Much of the press are of a mindset that every UKIP voter is a retired, ageing half-colonel living on Salisbury Plain, and that all of our votes come from the Conservative Party. Actually, 2/3 of our voters do not come from the Conservative Party. 1/5 of our voters are people who haven't voted for anybody for 20 years.
Labour was talking about immigration today. Ed Miliband announcing plans to stop employers driving down wages by employing cheap agency workers, many of whom are hired abroad.
We've got to prevent a race to the bottom in wages with workers coming here from abroad. Now, the current rules on agency contracts allow employers to use overseas labour to undercut the wages of local workers. We're going to put a stop to that.
The Prime Minister chose to launch his New Year offensive just a day before MPs returned to Parliament. With 16 months still to go before the next general election, it's clear 2014 will be the year all the parties begin to draw up their battle lines.